In today's video, we are going to be going over what this solar eclipse has in store for us. This new moon in Libra is happening on October 2nd, 2024. In this video, I'm going to go in depth the energy update of how it will affect you 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after, plant medicines that are so powerful for you to support your healing, moon rituals, and also a new moon ritual that you can do that can help you activate and work with this grandmother moon. I'm so excited to go into it. Before we get into the beautiful video that we have here in the magic, I want to invite you to like, subscribe, put notification bells so you do not miss a video, and share this video with a friend. It really helps the channel and helps our community really connect with plant medicines, be supported in our awakening, and so much more. So before we get into it, I want to just share with you at the end of this video, please stay around. I have some really exciting things that are happening in alignment with the moon for our community, and I've been working on this for months, and finally the day is here. This is specifically for all of the beautiful goddesses and the feminine of our collective and our community, so make sure you stay till the end. Okay, let's get into this video. So this solar eclipse, we just finished having the fall equinox. We also had the lunar eclipse, and we're ending the season with the solar eclipse. And I really love this time of year because we're really in the midst of changing times. We're feeling the shifts within us internally through our emotions, outside of our house, outside of our life. I'll go more into this in this video. And if you are a Libra or have a Libra placement, let me know down below so we can share together how it's affecting you. Even if you're not a Libra, it affects all of us. So what's coming up for you during this time? Like, what are the changes that are happening in your life? Or what are you feeling emotionally as we move closer into this deep portal? So the first thing you need to know about this Libra new moon is that nesting season to integrate the changes so far. As I mentioned about a week and a half ago, we had the fall equinox. Fall equinox is not only the best time to go harvest your garden, but it's also an amazing time to really tune into changing, purging, shifting, getting our home internally and externally prepared for the new changes and the new things that we're harvesting at this time. It's really a telling time to show us where all this work that we've done this year and about a year ago from today, what we've done and the healing we've done and what we've manifested because of that. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the lunar eclipse was a lot about purging, a lot of chaos, very exhausting for a lot of us. And now this is kind of a time where we're being called to integrate. I always say with all of my clients, and I share with them, that integration is over 85% of the work. And during this Libra new moon and solar eclipse, we're learning in the energy of Libra, the balance of nesting and understanding when we have to be an introvert at this time and when we have to go out and integrate with our loved ones, our communities, and with our mentors. So really tune into yourself during this time. Through these changing times, is it a time that I need to integrate and nest and slow down, soften into the changes that are happening? Or is this a time that I need to kind of, go and ask for help and say, hey, I really can't go through this rut that I'm going through? And if that is something that maybe you feel like you would love support, I am offering a few spots for one-on-one at the end of this month. So you can go and email just through my website, and my team or myself will get back to you so we can connect together in a session for an hour and a half. In this process, it's also a time where we're feeling these specific themes in our life during this Libra new moon and this solar eclipse: grieving, endings, and physical changes. I want to break it down even deeper with you to understand a little bit more. And as I'm speaking to you, tune into your body, what's coming up for you. Kind of be present with your body, your emotions, and what's here. The first thing is grieving. We're grieving this old version of us. We're giving ourselves permission to let go of the old patterns, the habits that maybe some of them that we've had a really hard time letting go of in the past. And now finally we've evolved in our spiritual journey where these habits are really calling us to let them go. Or maybe that right now I really just can't bypass this or avoid this specific habit and pattern. And if you know the habit and pattern that's coming up as we connect here deeply in this ceremony together in this video, then feel free to share in the comments down below and opening up that space for you. Endings. There's a lot with endings as well. Realizations of endings that have been happening. This could be endings of, what you thought life would be fulfilling for you. And now you're finding yourself in the space where you're like, wow, there's a new that's coming and I really don't know what it is. Maybe you've been feeling this feeling that it's for years, for ages, and now it's like it's a little bit stronger. It's really strong at this point. I can't help but not deny that we're coming closer to November being one of the most expansive times for our collective, with this time being a time of elections. And I don't want to get into politics too much, but it is part of the big energetic energies at a time where we're also finding out there's an extra moon that is happening here in the world. Really, we're getting connected where now when they say the veil is thin, there is no veil. At this point with this solar eclipse is teaching us that there are no veils between our guides and our ancestors. There was never a veil. But now, because as a collective, we've been evolving so deeply, shedding so much, and we've opened up our third eye, or pineal gland, cleared out the patterns, clearing out the ancestral. Healing is not a state, of course. We're continuously healing. But Libra is teaching us the balance of how to maneuver through this human experience and how to feel it all at the same time, because we are sensitive beings. Can we accept that in this time of nesting that we're allowing ourselves to feel the time of endings and grievings? Then we have the next part, which is physical changes. One of the things I talked about with one of my students in my Earth Dharma program was the aspect of alcohol, things that they used to do before, staying up late, going out, socializing. And they're noticing that they're kind of having their grandma moment, which is like these things that you were attached to before, these habits, these approaches, they no longer serve you. And the reason why is because you've gone through this really big shedding to help you rise into your highest timeline. And that means that whatever is lowering your frequency is just hitting you that much more. And to take care of your inner temple and your external temple, your energy. I always say health is wealth, but let's change that to energy is wealth. When we can shift and understand how we put energy out in the world, how we take energy in, how we release, how we dissolve, and understand the season that we're in the changing of our leaves internally and externally, things can open up. Now, for some of you that are in the spring season right now, more down south and other areas of the world, this is a time where you're not in the harvest per se, but this specific eclipse, this equinox, was all about now seeing your seeds grow, now seeing that the endings of what you had to clear from last year, and now you're seeing all your manifestations coming up. Now you're accepting the grieving, now you're accepting the change, and that's where you are in your life. So let me know what resonates with you, and maybe express to me or to our community here what are some grievings and some endings that are coming up for you. The second way that this solar eclipse in solar eclipse in Libra, why am I saying lunar eclipse, in new moon, October 2nd, 2024, 3 days before the day I'm in, 3 days after, is you found a deeper understanding of inner peace. Peace is something that we find when we stop seeking for an answer that was never outside of us in the beginning. When you start to accept that you have these really deep epiphanies during this time. Now, solar eclipse is really when our, days are kind of getting a little bit shorter. We're getting the balance of light and dark as well. The night is as long as the days. And within us, it teaches us the equal duality, which I'll go into, of the shadow and the light of ourselves. So here it's understanding what is it that is calling for inner peace. Maybe there are certain things because of these endings and these closings that a year from now you were pretty frustrated or angry, or maybe you were in a space that you couldn't see another perspective of this healing and this opportunity of expansion. And now that you've really sat down and you've been able to nest during this time, reflection came up, clarity is coming up during this deep new moon. So for those of you that are seeking clarity, allow yourself to find the space of solitude, the medicine of solitude during this time to really help you. For those of you who are seeking clarity in your relations, this is a great opportunity to listen. I heard this really big quote the other day, universe, God creator gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. And listening can really honor and allow us to hear ourselves and in turn hear others outside of us. So to be a continuous student and teacher in that medicine during this grandmother moon in Libra, and to balance when we need to, speak into that peace and when we need to listen listen into that peace. The third thing you need to know about this solar eclipse and Libra new moon that's happening on October 2nd, 2024, and how it will affect you 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after, is being asked to let go of expectations and your identity, as the part of you that is coming through is beyond what you know. I always tell all my clients, I tell you all here in the community, without mystery, this human experience would be quite boring. And what I'm trying to say is, like, we are all here creating our own movie, creating our own life, creating our own reality. And what that means is we're also playing a part of a movie that is beyond that we don't even know. Now, we all signed up before we came into the canal of the womb to have these families, to have these partnerships, to have these friends. And the reason why we signed up for this is because we knew that this was part of our examination to prepare us for our purpose, and the reason why we are here to be a big part, each one of you, a big part of a deeper community, a deeper collective, a deeper rising, a deeper phoenix, which right now we're shifting into the rise of the phoenix season. Now, what that means is that we're being asked that our expectations that were once what we had no longer are relevant. They were never relevant. So to have more compassion for yourself. And I had this conversation with one of my students, and I said, we have an opportunity right now to rewrite the relationships of learning things. You know, a lot of us came from school where it's A pluses, F's, D's, all the things, right? And knowing that you passed or you failed. Well, guess what? The failure is really just a first attempt. It's a lesson, right? You are not behind in your healing journey. You are not healing anything. You are not aware. Right now, we're in such a time that, again, and I'll talk more about this, that we are being called to drop the expectations and to see the true identity of who we are and who we came to be. And in this time, this is beyond what we know. So instead of trying to get all the answers, trying to figure out why you're going through what you're doing, just accept it. Just be with it. Just be with all that you are, and just know that a lot is going to come up. Now, Libra, this sign is bringing in also the balance, right? And the difference between expectations and standards, right? You can have radical acceptance that certain things, family members, people in your life are the way that they are, and you are on your own journey, they are on theirs, and not to have any judgment with that, but to balance that with that acceptance, radical acceptance, that I can have standards of what is best for me and what is best for us, right? So right now we're being asked to really just revisit our inner boundaries, our external boundaries, and also to really tune into beyond this, understanding that there are some boundaries that are going to be created and forced to be created to support you on a timeline that is beyond your wisdom of knowing. And I always say, the more you know, the more you don't know. So this Libra is a very humbling time, but yet it's a very quiet and solitude time. And it's being asked for you to just keep things on the low. Keep things on the low at this time. It's also the month of Venus. It's the month of love. It's the love for yourself. It's the month of love for the ones around you, and to understand your relationship with love. And this Libra new moon is really giving us a lot of healing around our heart, and being able to have a good relationship of inner peace from our heart, letting go of any attachments that are blocking our heart and don't allow us to step into peace, don't allow us to step into love. And we're clearing any grieving, anger, pains, anything on a physical and an emotional and a spiritual level and a soul level. So it's a lot of upgrades going on. It's a really exciting time. And again, with that, it takes some time for us to adjust and get to know our new upgrades in the car. Like, our car is getting upgraded. Our physical body is getting some new engines, some new toys in there, some gifts that we're adding to our toolbox. And a lot of these aren't new. They're just things we're discovered within ourselves, but now we're in a space where we can hold it. And I always say, universe creator never gives you anything that isn't for you. They know you can handle it. That is why it's coming up into your space. Remember that whenever you have doubt, just remember there is an order to it, because you have the space and energy to accept and receive what is given to you. You are so powerful. Not to forget your power. And that nesting and taking a break doesn't mean you're behind. It just means you're getting balance within yourself. You're softening into the changing seasons. A leaf doesn't question why it's falling off of a tree. It just is. It's given back to the earth, and it knows that next year in the spring, or, that tree is going to get even bigger leaves and bigger branches. And the same thing for those of you in the spring at this time of equinox and this solar eclipse. You know that you let go of your branches. You were nesting, you were hermiting, you were in your winter. And now it's like you're ready to see what trees, what branches are grown. You don't know what that is. That is the great mystery that you are surrendering to. So you're being asked to surrender for those in spring, and for those in fall, you're being asked to let go, grieve, to just really nest and know that these leaves, and there's as I'm speaking about this, something that I'm noticing too, what I love about all of us being in different hemispheres and receiving this channel message is that we are balancing on a collective level. If all of us were in our fall and all of us were in our spring, then we wouldn't be helping each other out, right? So some of us need to shed and some of us need to birth to balance the energies of the greater timeline, the greater message and the greater order of what the law of beyond is asking of us. So this is really amazing and potent. And let me know if this resonates with you, that, if you and every person in your family were also going through a spiritual journey, like we need some people who aren't. We need everyone in their different seasons, because together it just works. Right? So instead of sitting here and complaining about, because I've been getting this a lot with my clients and stuff, how you are the one that is holding on everything with your family. During this time, it's being asked for those of you in grieving in this time of the equinox and fall season to create boundaries around, hey, am I able to give from my heart and have a full cup? I am not a Band-Aid anymore, right? And I'm not picking the leaves off of my tree that are falling off, that are literally do not have life force in it, because they have served me up to this point. And I'm not giving those dead leaves to my family. Instead, I'm letting them know, hey, we're in nesting season, we're resting, and this is what I can offer. And this is what I can offer to myself, right? So I always tell people at this time, I'm speaking on family because home is a really big season, a really big theme, to really honor and to ask ourselves, where can we be of service in our everyday life? Because life is the ceremony, right? So that balance of your spiritual life, well, there's no difference between that and your life here, right? I don't know why I'm sharing this, but I'm sharing it for a reason. If this is hitting you, if it's triggering you, let me know down below. There's a reason and order to everything. The next thing you need to know about this solar eclipse in Libra and new moon, October 2nd, 2024, and how it will affect you 3 days before the day of and 3 days after. Duality of what we see as good and bad is the same. So this is an opportunity for us to see where we are judging things as bad and good. And that's really simple. I'm keeping simple with this message, and to look at this, if you are feeling yourself going into these thought processes and reactiveness of the shadow, we see you, we honor you. But in this time, it's also an opportunity for you to take a step back and to play both parts, to be in the shoes of both sides, what you see is bad and what you see is good, because at the end of the day, the insanity of our healing journey is that we play all parts at some point of our life. And that's why karma is such a big thing in this space, especially right now during the fall season, during the ending of the year. This is where we're clearing a lot of karmic contracts. And we're also looking at what karmic contracts we've created in this lifetime and other past lifetimes. Again, this duality, what is the duality the season is showing me? What is the balance it's showing me? What am I being called to lean deeper into and maybe pull back the pedal of things as far as my energy going out and inwards into my life? The next thing you need to know about this solar eclipse in Libra new moon that's happening October 2nd, 2024, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, is until November. This is a big channel message, so I'm just going to read it out, then I'll explain it to you. Until November 20th, we are purging home. And in this time, we are getting a preview of what is home to our soul, what is home to us. What does not serve you will be purged in your physical world. You are seeing what this new moon, the light of a new chapter, is to come. So what I'm saying with this is, right now with what's going on in the world, at this point, the elections are happening in the Western world, right? There is going to be a lot, and I'm just opening this as predictions and hypothesis here, but this is what's been coming up for me in clarity in relation to the solar eclipse in Libra, is we're going to be seeing a lot more people being exposed. We saw this with Diddy. We're seeing this with more celebrities. Essentially, Hollywood's going down right now. And with that also comes the energies of the world and the organizations, organizations in power right now. People are starting to find their deeper freedom of what home means to them, because home is where your heart is, and your heart is calling you to come home to your soul. So in this time, anything that is not in a heart lead space during this Libra new moon, you're getting some realizations, some deep downloads of that. Let them sit. Don't analyze it too much. It will come and reveal itself in its full definition in time. But what that looks like is purge things out of your house, purge detachment, detach yourself from things, detach yourself from the patterning of how you see the world. You're going to start to see the systems and the programs going to open you up completely. And if this is something that you're interested in, and this is something especially because I know a lot of the people who follow me here are women, because I see and I hear, please stay tuned to the end of this video, because what I have in store is literally going to be life-changing for you to really tap into your soul's freedom, expansion, power, creation, and for you to step into your own inner medicine. It's really powerful. So all this to say is November 20th up to now, really tuning into anything that isn't supposed to go with you to the next level is going to be shedded off completely, removed, stripped apart. Like if it's hard and there's so much resistance happening in that area of your life, most likely let it go. Okay, at this point, take some days, of course, with the moons that are to come, but let it go. And come November 20th is going to be the final purge. So just a little heads up, and this is why this solar eclipse is all about balance and slowing down a little bit, because you're going to get like purges, like poop, little purges coming out. And then at the end of the season, after November 20th, you're going to kind of look back and be like, whoa, that was a production. That was a movie that we just created. That was a shift, right? So we're going to be sharing a lot of that. And in the end of that, after November 20th, you're going to see the light. You're going to see the aha moment. You're going to see that, ooh, this is the new chapter to come. This is what I'm meant to do, right? So don't get too sorted out of knowing the why, the what, the perfection of what to order out. Just know you're in flow until then and now, and in purging and clearing and nesting. The last thing you need to know before we go into the plants and also the new moon ritual is be aware of anger that is triggered by your ancestors, loved ones on this earth realm and on the star realm. What I mean by that is right now, you're being tested to really create some lovingly boundaries. And I keep saying this word, but it's so deep, around your anger. And anger in this time is a reaction of where your needs are not being given to you, received within yourself, right? So really listen to what is the lesson here of the anger. I'm also seeing a lot of connections around the inner child and home, the dynamic of people in the household and how they created a relationship, what your relationship with anger is. So give this as an opportunity to have a new relationship, new moon, new relationship, new habits around anger. How can I process it? How can I release that? How can I honor it? How can I learn from it so I can open my heart? Because behind anger is grieving and sadness, a part of a need that has not been tended to, loved to, and taken care of. Okay, loves? So I just wanted to share that with you. Let's move into the plants. I love talking about plant medicine. If this is something that you love, please make sure you follow and subscribe, as this is something that is my biggest power, and the biggest power of what I want to express here with you is plant medicine and teaching you more about that. And I really think that each and every single one of us has this innate connection with plants, and we have our inner medicine being. So the first plant of how to work with this solar eclipse and new moon that's happening on October 2nd, 2024 is chamomile. Chamomile. It is such a beautiful medicine, and it really helps with soothing the nervous system as you're going through these changes. You can have this at night and probably early mid-afternoon to find yourself really regulating the nervous system. The second plant I have is a plant that is included in the surprise at the end of this video and is one of the most divine plants and the most light being plants, depending on which ones that you take, and that is rose. Rose really helps with grief, peace, letting go of attachment, and the deepest forgiveness and radical acceptance. So if this is something that is a theme in your time right now, working with rose as a tea in your baths, this can be very supportive for you. It's a very powerful medicine, and each one is very different, okay? For those of you in other hemispheres that are not in the West, they tend to be in season right now. And for those of you in this space, maybe you can find the dried versions of them to really connect you with the death and the grieving that you're going through to support you. This is a very potent medicine. And again, I will talk more about this medicine in the future because there's a lot more to come with this. The second one is ginger, and I'm going to actually share the third one is ginger, and I'm going to share the last one because they work together very well. Now, in this time, because we're going through so many upgrades, we're getting energetic flus, our immune system is needed to be tended to, so my favorite is ginger. Having some ginger tea, chewing on ginger was always a thing I grew up with my dad. I remember as soon as we had a little throat, he would say, put this in your mouth, and we would chew ginger. So it's really supportive for you for inflammation, and it can really help with the organs, stomach as well, especially if you have any anger, resentment, or resistance coming up in this time. It's going to help bring some warmth into the blood and move some energy through the heart, which is really powerful. The last one is oregano oil, and this is a little trick that I will share with you that not only can you use during the solar eclipse and Libra new moon, but throughout this whole fall and winter season is oregano oil. Oregano is amazing for colds, throats, immune system, coughs, opening the throat chakra, the list goes on. But what you can do with oregano oil is put it underneath your tongue, 3 drops in the morning, in the midday if you feel called, and at night. Do this every single day, especially if you work as a nurse, if you work as a teacher or with kids, or your kids are getting colds or whatnot. You can also have this in your household to support everyone, and it's very, very helpful in these changing times. Okay, so remember, energy is wealth, and for us to take care of ourselves, these plant allies really support us. If this is something that you really want to go deeper into and love to go to a plant medicine retreat, check out my website, www.𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐞, and you can go and apply to a retreat. We have a beautiful 2 retreats coming up in Costa Rica, one in November and also one in October, and the one in November and one in February. The one in February, we have 2 spots left for this 10-day retreat in Heaven and Earth Sanctuary, and a 3-day retreat in November, which I really suggest for those of you who may find it hard to commit to a 10-day, or maybe it's your first time sitting with the medicine, then come to this. There's 4 spots available, and registration closes October 15th. So you can go apply, link tree down below or at my website. Let's go into the new moon ritual. This is the last part before we close it with the cards. So for this solar eclipse and Libra new moon, we have a beautiful eclipse, solar eclipse and new moon ritual that I've created. It's quite simple. All you'll need is paper and pen. That's it. You can do this 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, and repeat the second part of it over and over again. The first step is to get a piece of paper and to script. Script means to write. So to write, what is the description of your inner peace? To write it in future, like in now tense, not future tense. So what is your idea of inner peace? My idea, my feeling, my explanation, my description of inner peace is da 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 da. I feel da 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 da. Write it down. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to speak it. So we are working with Libra. Libra is air. So we're activating our throat chakra here. We're speaking that. It's also our heart, right? Air is the heart. So as you breathe and connect with your heart chakra, what you're going to do is speak that into existence. So saying it out loud to yourself once in the morning, once at night. And the more you do it, the better it is for you to work with the moon energy. And it will help you recode and program in these words, charging these words into the manifestation of these new beginnings. So to write down the new piece that you're calling into this new season, the changes that you're committing to yourself, and what is being asked for you in your body, spirit, and soul, and full being. So I hope this was supportive for you. I want to end this video with a card. I was going to do a lot of cards, but I was like, let me just end with one card here with you guys. So let's do a card. And this one is actually a card deck I haven't pulled out for a while, but I'm feeling mantras have been something that's been coming up a lot for people right now in this season. And we're really calling in this Libra new moon. What is the mantra that can really ground us at this time? And two just fell out. So let's do the first one, empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of the situation. So I am open to seeing both sides. I don't know if you can see that. The other one is perseverance. So I know that I can do whatever I put my mind to. I know I can do whatever I put my mind to. This is amazing. So just remembering that right now, I know you're tired. I know you're exhausted. I know a lot of you have expressed, especially those of you who have been connecting with one-on-one and helping out with this big project that is now announced and live. If you're seeing this the 1st or the 2nd of October this month, is this essence and this understanding that perseverance. Am I going to stop healing? Is healing ever going to stop? Like, how much empathy do I have in my being? Just trust the process. I know you're probably tired of hearing this, but I can say right now that you are literally a walking ceremony and prayer. And, you know, you are literally the most abundant being right now. And even though so many things are being taken away or shedded at this time for some of you, this is an opportunity for you to understand that there's a lot to come. And for those of you in the spring season, in this powerful eclipse time, this is an opportunity for you to continue this new path and journey and know that so much is up ahead for you. And I'm so excited for you. So I promised you that I would share a couple of beautiful, exciting announcements with you all. And then drum roll. So we're going to go from like the beginning, and the last one's going to be the big one. So the first one is that retreats. As I mentioned before, we have some beautiful plant medicine retreats. One of them is happening in November 20th to the 23rd at Heaven and Earth Sanctuary with 𝐵𝐤𝐤𝐤. She's an amazing facilitator who does deep sound healing, helps you connect with your being, your soul, and really shifts your light body. The deep healing you receive during this grandmother medicine is profound, and I've been sitting with her for just over recently 5 years. So I would love to see you there. There are 4 spots available. You can go down below and look at retreats in my link tree or my website and apply. If you can't find it, just send an email through the website and we will more than happy send that over to you. There are 4 spots, applications and registration closes on the 15th of October. So make sure you do that ASAP. The last one is the next retreat we have, which is happening in February 1st to the 11th. I'm so excited. It is at Heaven and Earth Sanctuary in Costa Rica, once again at this beautiful center. It is literally a portal, and we will be sitting with grandmother medicine, Boban Sana, cacao, movement, breathwork, Kambo, and working together with Carol Friesman, Colleen Ariel, myself. I am Amelia, who's doing Sweat Lodge. It's going to be a powerful powerhouse, and right now there are only 2 spots available. You have until October 1st to be able to register and have your transportation also included there and back to the center. And after that, if there are spots available, which honestly I think they're going to fill up quickly, so make sure you apply, you will have to cover that yourself. So this retreat is so potent, it is so powerful, it is life-changing, and we're bringing it back again for a second year. And I would love to be in prayer and ceremony with you, so you can go and apply down below in the retreats 2024-2025 to go and apply. And then also we have another retreat happening in Peru at the Novelis Treehouse. If you've been feeling called to sit on the lands with grandma, with the Shipibu, and also with Colleen Ariel and myself, we would love to see you there. And that is happening on April 21st to the 30th next year. So you can go and apply for that down below. And the last final announcement, I'm so excited, is that there is a huge offering right now, live at my website, online, in my link tree. Go check it out right now. Go check out my link tree. This is profound. If you're a woman on your spiritual journey, if you are a woman that feels stuck, if you are a woman that feels that you've been constantly healing, you're a cycle breaker, you have been the outlier in your family, the unique one, the one that has went the other path, the other way, and you are ready to really step into your power, your gifts, your essence, breaking through it all together and be in community while doing this, while connecting with the plant spirits, and so much more. And for those of you who watch this before the 1st of October, put your notification bells here. Follow me on Instagram, on TikTok. It's Shika_Chica. By the way, I only have one account. So there's only one account. Just a heads up, because I've had some of you message me, Chica, is this your account? I only have one account. And I also have my website as well. If you have a hard time finding it, it's 𝐾𝐨𝐬𝐤𝐞.com, and add yourself to the email list. Do yourself that favor and add yourself to the email list, because we will be sharing some very exclusive things through the email list that you do not want to miss. I'm so excited. This is the biggest project I've been creating for months. I'm going to share more with you guys soon, and it's going to literally be something that has been a prayer for so many women across the world, and an opportunity to be supported in so many ways. Okay, there's more to come. I'll leave it at that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, put notification bells, share this with your friends and family, and I hope you have a beautiful solar eclipse, Libra new moon, and I'm wishing you all the new beginnings and some. I love you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.